I think I'm going to turn the heater on down here before we start. Hey, Paul, how's it going? After today, we're getting down to the end of the green gloves. After today, we've only got enough green gloves for 5 more breaks. And then we switch back to blue. I guess I was a little slow getting started, wasn't I? We're getting it, though. We got it. What in the world is going on here? Is it true that Panini is losing some deals on cards or players or something like that? Well, Paul, it would be, I guess it depends. It depends on how much you already know as I would kind of need to know that before I knew where to start. But I'll try to give you a 30-second quick answer. And again, I apologize because I don't know what you do or don't know. But from just a very, very speaking in large generalities, yeah, Panini has already lost their WWE license at the beginning of the year. Topps already started making Topps Wrestling. They already put out Topps Chrome. It's been known for about a year and a half that they were losing the football license to Topps and Fanatics. for the last year or more, Topps has been producing unlicensed football. At the same time that Panini is continuing to produce football. I believe when Topps took over WWE, I believe UFC is a package deal with WWE because they're the same corporation now. So I don't think Panini can do UFC either. But that's all stuff that happened. A lot of what I just explained was 18 months ago, 2 years ago almost. I mean, it's been stuff that's been known for quite a while. So I apologize if you already knew that or not, but that's really the only big thing happening with Panini that I'm aware of. As far as NASCAR, they're still locked in with NASCAR. Panini continues to make unlicensed baseball. My suspicion is that once they've officially lost the football license, they'll continue to make unlicensed football just like they do baseball. I don't think anything's going to change, at least a whole lot. So, I don't know. But, no, as far as anything new, recent that I'm aware of, nothing that I'm aware of. But I may not be the one to have all the answers either, so... But no, as far as and especially as far as NASCAR is concerned, nothing's changed or. So, all right, here's our owner list for tonight. Still missing payments from Philip Mancini and Larry Westgates. Phil and Larry still missing theirs. But otherwise, we're good to go everywhere else. A lot of, long and the short of it, I realize that wasn't a 30-second explanation either, but the long and the short of it is, Panini and Topps are fighting each other over money and rights and all that nonsense, and I don't know that a whole lot's going to really change as a result, other than one's going to be licensed and one's going to be unlicensed, which is what we currently have. So... All right, let's get our duck race set up. We're going to need 12 spots. Here's our duck race lineup. We got 1 through 12. You'll see Bob out there off to the side because that's actually Bob Kroger instead of Joey. So, good luck to everybody. Yeah, 12. Making sure I got it right. Shuffle it one time. Good luck. They are off. Duck 9 was leading, kind of slacked off. Duck 4 is making a move. It is duck number 4 for the win. Going to Joey Kroger. So congrats, Joey. Picking up a nice little handful of drivers in the filler. Austin Wayne Self, Blaine Perkins, Bobby Labonte, Brad Kozlowski, Daniel Hemrick, Harrison Burton, Jake Drew, Jeb Burton, Matt Mills, and Ryan Preece were all in the filler. All right, so let's get this show on the road. I will show you guys the whole stack of the boxes. That's our whole case there. There's 15 in the back and then 5 right here in the front. So, good luck to everybody. Let's do this thing. This will take us a hot minute. box. We got the green Recon Chris Buescher. We got the hit first pack. Zane Smith Chronicles sheet metal. Goes to Johnny Hinton. We got Christian Eckes, Bailey Curry, and Ryan Blaney. Green Thunder Kevin Harvick. Got the Dinger. Jack Wood, Matty D, and Jake Drew. I guess they're supposed to go like this. Harvick, Jordan Anderson, Alfredo. Clearly Chase Briscoe. Magnitude Danica. And green XR Jeff Burton. The green parallels and green gloves, it makes sense. Jeff Burton, Reddick, Chris Buescher, Daniel Suarez, pedal to the metal Chase Elliott. And we got Ross, Haley Deegan, AJ Allmendinger, Eric Almirola, and a green overdrive Brittany Zamora. As with typical Chronicles blasters, I suspect, my hope is that we get, I would be happy if we get 3 or 4 autos. We'll see if that happens. I'd be happy with 3 or 4 autos, and I suspect the rest will be relics. Be nice to see a couple, maybe shorter print rookies or something pop out, though, or maybe a patch. You never know. Bonsignor, Bubba, Natalie Decker, Luminance. We've got our first numbered red Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Luminance, 44.99. Going to Greg Chandler. It's the thing with blasters, green Parker Chase, is it, you always want to feel like it's predictable, but sometimes blasters can be very unpredictable, so that's why we do a few of them. Larson, Elliott, Timmy Hill, green Recon Ryan Preece. Hey, there we got some ink. First auto of the night. Matt Mills, Obsidian. That'll work. That's going to go through the filler to Joey Kroger. Let's see if I can squeeze that in there. Yeah, we got room. 3 to 5 newly minted cards. Lots of tire relics. Well, so far you're both wrong. No tire relics and no newly minted, and we're 2 blasters in. So, Thunder BK and pedal to the metal Chase Elliott. Tyler Reddick, Bowman, Austin Wayne Self, Mosaic Joey Logano, and XR Danica Patrick. Toga, ×2, Jake Drew. Elements green, John Hunter Nemechek. And Matt Mills, Zenith. Number 3. Retail exclusive. Yeah, it's these greens, Scott. These greens are retail exclusives. You had to get them out of a blaster. That's why I've been separate. I've got them separated because those aren't. I won't count those as base. Those will all be sorted and. Chase, Timmy Hill, Bonsignor, John Hunter Pedal to the Metal green, and Elements Chase Briscoe. Yeah, I know and you know, everything starts to run together eventually. Like you start confusing one thing with the other. It happens to me all the time anyway. Larson, Zenith Stenhouse, and Mosaic green Tony Beat. Jordan Anderson. Might have a relic. There's a tire relic. Justin Allgaier, race used tire. Going to Will Black. Oh, yeah, it happens to me I'm sure you're aware it happens to me all the time. Because I'm like, oh, yeah, we should get this, or we should see this. And then I'm like, kind of open mouth insert foot moment. Because I'm thinking of something completely different. Toga, Jake Drew, Tyler Reddick, Zenith Green Austin Cindric, and an XR Kyle Busch. Less cards in this one. Harvick, Busher, Toga, and BK Green Recon. Box. Danica, Larson, Chase Elliott, green Zenith Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Cindric. Sure, Joey. I would suggest sending me a message, though, to remind me of that, because I'll probably forget if I don't have a message. Zane Smith and Overdrive Green Parker Chase. Just going to go this way. Eric Jones, green. Eric Almirola, race used fire suit. Going to Will Black. Well, Will Black's 2 for 2 with his drivers. Nothing new there. Always hitting. Guy must have a rabbit's foot in his pocket. Oh, yeah, it's crazy. I don't understand why they had to have 2 forward, 1 back, potentially 1 upside down. Like, come on. Toga. Green Haley Deegan Recon and XR Kyle Larson. You guys know me. I normally normally if it's a parallel like with Prism, normally I penny sleeve all of them, but I'll show you in a second why I haven't been doing that for these greens. Green Thunder Ryan Priest, I mean, we've only done 4 blasters, and we've got that many greens already. Like, we'll have a massive stack. Probably have 80 to 100 of them. It's just because they're just not that uncommon. You know what I mean? Like, they're just not that unique. Because they're putting so many of them in a box. Box. Nobody on Sunday, I won't say nobody, only one person on Sunday caught that I forgot the custom card from the previous week. So I forgot the Larson custom card from the previous race. CW had the Larson spot and got the custom card, but just thought I'd mention that we did do it, and I just forgot. The Sunday night break was the one that was pretty late, and I just completely forgot. Elements, Tony Stewart. Green Select, Parker Chase. Wallace Allen, Kyle Busch, Jr. We got status swatches, AJ Allmendinger. There's our second tire patch of the night. This card has a weird spot here. What is that? Is that tape? Hold on. Doesn't that look like masking tape to you guys? It 100% is. That is weird. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Boy, we get all the weird shit, don't we? I don't think I've ever encountered that before. Status swatches AJ Allmendinger. Yeah, that was strange. I don't think I've ever run into that before. Going to Johnny. Yeah, just when you think you've seen it all, we find something new. I don't know what's up with that. I was just trying to think, could it have been something from when maybe they put the relic in? But I don't understand. I don't know, man. I don't know. Ben Rhodes. Thunder Green Stenhouse. Blaney Zenith. Yeah, that prime box, though, for sure. Clear Vision Dinger. And XR Chase Elliott Green. Petty, Labonte, Brett Moffitt, Justin Haley, Pedal to the Metal, Green, and XR Bubba. All right. Now we start chipping away at our big box. I don't know if did we have yeah, we had Immaculate, but they weren't in the blasters. I saw somebody asking about that. Like in 2020, 2021, the blasters, you would usually get, in those blasters, you'd usually get an auto or a mem card and a Spectra. So you'd kind of get one of each. And they stopped doing that in 23. That's right, it was Immaculate, but they didn't put. I mean, I think you can find them in blasters, but it's not one per blaster like Spectras were following a couple years ago when they were in every box basically. Okay, green mosaic, Nick Sanchez. BJ McLeod, Contenders ticket autograph. Second auto of the night. I would like to see a different name, but we'll take it. Going to Johnny Hinton in the unlisted spot. Titanium Austin Dillon. Raja. Green Zenith Almirola. Pedal to the metal Josh Berry. Bowman. Jeremy Clements. As we do the ring around the rosy. Larson. Jake Drew, clearly. And Elements Green, Justin Haley. Recon, Tyler Reddick, Green, and Ty Gibbs, Elements. '75th Diamond cards. That would be cool. That'd be a nice hit, wouldn't it? We would take that. Especially out of a blaster, we'd take that. I would like to see a few more numbered cards. Hemrick, Denny Hamlin, Recon, Greg Galding tire. That's going to go to Johnny Hinton in the unlisted spot. You officially know your days are over as a celebrity when you host a show on a game show network. Oh, who are you talking about? Thunder Green, Austin Dillon. XR Green, Denny Hamlin. And Ryan Ellis. Eckes. Bailey Curry. Ryan Blaney. Byron, Contenders ticket. Green, Rusty Wallace, pedal to the metal. Older. Oh, yeah, that's true. Is it me or is Drew Carey starting to look like Bob Barker a little bit? Have they done that on purpose, or has he done that on purpose, or is it just me imagining it? Jeff Gordon, titanium. Green, Jordan Anderson. Yeah, that might be really my only real knock so far, I think, is I'd like to just see a few more numbered cards. If those fell like one per box, or even one every other box, that'd be cool. Cleveland Rocks. Whenever I think of him, I think of his opening line on Whose Line Is It Anyway, where he would say, this, the game where the rules don't matter and points don't matter and rules are made up as we go, or something like that. I think of that all the time. Green, Jake Drew. Especially when NASCAR starts making shit up. Haley Deegan. Dinger. We got BK. Race Used Tire. Recon. Brad Keselowski. He goes through the filler to Joey Kroger. Yeah, where points don't matter and the rules are made up. Exactly. There you go. That's the phrase. Exactly right. Cram. Don't know that. Clear Vision, Ty Gibbs. Green Recon, Kyle Larson. Yeah, I don't know that one. Green Thunder, Bubba. And Richard Petty, Recon. That's crazy. We had our kids, I don't know, maybe one night last summer or something. We had our kids watching Family Double Dare with us, like the old episodes with Mark Summers. That's going way back, because the games are pretty kind of cheesy and the prizes were kind of cheesy. Recon, Race Used Tire, Gray, Galding. Got our first repeat offender of the night. That's going to go to Johnny. Recon Green, Ty Gibbs. Yeah, Nickelodeon. Yep. Suarez Elements, and a lightning green Kyle Busch. Shoot. Oh, I didn't know there was a Double Dare 2000. That must have skipped my generation or my, I don't know what. I didn't know that existed. Ryan Preece. Green Select Jeff Gordon. Yeah, they're saying there's an American Gladiators coming back, and I forget, they said there was like somebody was the host that was pretty well known. I forget who it is. Blue Recon, Tyler Reddick, 151 of 199. There we go. Reddick goes to Nate Gogol. Finally got another numbered card. Another Green Thunder, Kyle Busch. I'm going to move those. I'm going to knock them over. Yeah, I've seen the American Gladiators documentary on Netflix. All the stuff that they did behind the scenes and got put through, and the things that went on. Yeah, I heard that's true. I just don't know. I can't remember who it was that I heard was going to be the host, but it was somebody well known. Somebody will have to Google it for us. Who's the host of the new American Gladiators? You do, Phil. You do. $1 million is what you owe. Parker Chase, rookie autograph. Out of score. Going to Brandon Palmer. The Miz, there you go. Yeah, I knew it was somebody that was pretty well known. The Miz, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, Scott Cutler. Chronicles is a bunch of products. That's what Chronicles is a whole bunch of things put together. That's why when National Treasures came out there this year, we kind of were playfully calling it Chronicles National Treasures, or, you know, it had a Chronicles feel because it had so many different things in it that weren't necessarily supposed to be there. Toga, Jake Drew, Clear Vision Tony B, and Thunder Martin Truex Jr. Well, you learned something new today. Yeah. Pedal to the Metal, Ty Dillon. So these are all different either brands or subsets, or, you know, some of them you see other products have full runs of, like, you know, now we have a full-blown select. You see Mosaic, Luminance, like there's Luminance, Classics. There's just the regular standard Chronicles base. Elements. Like I was saying, Mosaic. So, yeah, all the other, like, brands that you're used to seeing in, like, football or whatever, for us, they mash them all together. They do that in other sports too. Football Chronicles, Wrestling Chronicles was the same way. They just, anything that doesn't get its own product to run, they stick it all together. The Score subs. Yeah, I like Score. I don't know. I know some people kind of look at Score like Donruss or. I like it though. Ryan Vargas, sheet metal. He will go, pardon me, to the unlisted spot in Johnny Hinton. I'm going to open another pack at Top Loads real quick. Elements green AJ Allmendinger. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is it's Score always looks like Score, which is fine by me. Torque used to be a big thing back in the day. Pedal to the Metal green Danica Patrick. Parker Chase, Brennan Poole, Luminance Martin Truex Jr., Jake Drew, Titanium Austin Cindric, Ben Rhodes, McDowell, Bonsignor, Chandler Smith green, Zenith, and regular Zenith Matt Mills. Alex Bowman Jr., Blaine Perkins, XR Jeff Burton, and Overdrive green Alex Bowman. Yeah, agreed, Scott. I like Luminance a lot. I'm a big fan of that product. D-Box. Bush. Oh, look, a third Greg Alding. Somebody said, I bet we'll get a bunch of tire relics, but they didn't say, hey, I bet we'll get a bunch of Greg Alding tire relics. Ay. Well, it's Mr. Panini, so they had to get him in there. 3 strikes and you're out, Gray. You're done now. Green Thunder, Joey Logano. I remember when we did, I think it was like a 2017 blaster break of Absolute and Select. And we got like 4 or 5 autos of the same guy. Green XR Chandler Smith. I want to say it was David Corse that got them all. I can't remember who it was. I mean, I can't remember who the driver was. It was somebody that's not... Oh, now I'm making a mess. And my OCD can't stand that I didn't make it in the trash can. But anyway, Jack Wood, Ty Dillon, Pedal to the Metal green. I don't know. I don't think it was Ty Majeski. I don't think so. I think it was somebody else. I mean, it could have been. I just can't remember. Timothy Peters. Yeah, I think that's right, Scott. I think that's correct. I think that's who it was. We got like 4 or 5 autos of his. It was crazy. And if memory serves, I'm just thinking back, if memory serves and you got a Timothy Peters autograph back at Secret Santa time, that's why. 83/99, immaculate Nick Sanchez going to Steven Roberts. I know somebody was asking about immaculate and if you could get them in blasters. There you go, you can. I knew you could. I just knew that they were no longer a 1 per box deal like before. Green Lightning, Raja Caruth. Give me one quick second. I'm going to turn this little heater off. Our Ohio weather hasn't been able to make up its mind what it wants to do. And so today was actually chilly. Like we were below 60 most of the day, and I didn't turn the furnace on. I just kind of kicked on the little space heater. But it's about to run me out of the basement because it was getting toasty down here. A little too warm. Bowman. Clements, Mosaic Stenhouse, and Green Recon Kyle Larson. Yeah, I would like to be seeing a few more numbered cards. That might be my biggest disappointment, honestly. Everything else has kind of been okay. What I sort of expected so far. Thunder Green, Bubba, and Recon Ryan Blaney. Blaney, Austin Dillon, Cindric, Pedal to the Metal, and Green Select Jake Drew. Oh, the immaculate the case hit. Something like that, huh? Brennan Poole. Luminance Truex. And then we're going Chronicles Sheet Metal. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. belongs to Greg. XR Green Jeff Gordon. I will get a schedule posted tonight after we finish for the rest of this week. But what I'm planning to do is we'll do the pull box tomorrow night, and probably going to shoot for a 9 o'clock start time on the pull box. And then Thursday, I think we'll do a mixer on Thursday. Empty box. There. And then once we're done, once we get through Thursday, I don't think I'm going to be able to squeeze anything else in. I thought about potentially trying to do like a lunch break on Friday, but I don't think I'm going to have enough time. I got too many things. This weekend has become extremely, not this weekend, but this week has become extremely busy for me all of a sudden, just over the last few days. And then we're leaving this weekend too, which is a whole nother thing. So Recon Harrison Burton race used tire. Harrison goes through the filler to Joey. Because we got my sister-in-law's wedding this weekend. And so, of course, as a reminder, no breaks this weekend, unfortunately. I'll try to do something. I just don't know what. I have no idea. I haven't thought that far in advance, to be honest. But I'll try to come up with something that we could do. Maybe we'll do a race pool like we used to do back in the day, where you pick where you pay for a spot and you get a random driver in each race for the 500 and the 600, and then the winners get something. Thunder Joey Logano. It was fun to do those, though, because it gives you something to root for beside your favorite driver. You know, it's like a whole other side thing to keep an eye on. So maybe I can run something like that this weekend and post it on Friday. If I can post it on Friday and just let it go and not have to worry about it, then I'm good. Kyle Larson, clearly magnitude Deegan with a pretty decent gash in it, unfortunately. XR Green, Chandler Smith. Yeah, and my fear is, I guess as I'm sitting here talking through it, my fear is I don't know how I would. I guess I could take my phone stand and figure out the pool on the fly, but I was hoping to not have to take like my computer and stuff. So I guess I could just take a sheet of paper and do it that way. Wouldn't be that hard. We could probably do something like that. Pedal to the Metal Green, Ty Dillon, and XR Denny. So we'll see. I'm gonna think on that, because that'd be kind of fun. At least it'd give us something to do this weekend. Wooji, Lawless Allen, and Mark Martin, Green Lightning. We had a good we probably had a good little core group of people, Scott, that when we were doing it, that every week they were in, you know. Heck, we had some people's wives participating that never do anything with the breaks or cards or anything, really. They were just participating because it was something that they could get into, you know, and it didn't require any, you know, any card commitment or card knowledge or whatever. So we'll see. Maybe that's something we'll try this weekend. I'll try to figure that out. BJ McLeod, race used tire to go with the autograph. Going to Johnny. We've gotten 3 autos so far. If we get one more, I'll feel like that was solid enough out of a blaster case. 4 autos out of 20 is not bad. Elements Dinger and Recon Green BK. My trash. I've never had to stop in the middle of a break to empty the trash, but I'm like borderline. It's just like ridiculous. I should have emptied it before I started. Riley Herbst Luminance. Brett Moffitt Contenders Ticket. Green Thunder Denny Hamlin. Yeah, exactly. Daniel Hemrick. This is probably a good time to remind everybody, if you've got stuff for PSA grading, go ahead and get that stuff sent out. XR Green Kyle Busch and a Zenith Suarez. I've already got quite a few from a lot of people, so I'm not necessarily missing anybody that I am used to having send stuff in. I'm just, just casually reminding everybody those are due by the end of the month. Zenith Almirola, Mosaic Stenhouse. Mosaic would be a set that I would like to see done with NASCAR. I like Mosaic a lot. Yeah, if it's select, you get, exactly, you get a bunch of points cards. Yeah. Unfortunately. A bunch of points cards that you're going to have to wait a year and a half to redeem to get some Mike Harmon autographs, basically. I had like, I had like 500 or 600 points, I think, or something. And finally they had some wrestling redemptions and finally cashed them in on a couple of those. Because I got tired of waiting and looking and missing. I missed out on a couple other drops that I would have liked. So I was like, all right, screw it. I'll just kind of some no-name wrestlers, but whatever. They'll go in the card show sale box. Raja Karut. Green Select Tony Stewart. Tony won another NHRA race this past weekend. I don't know the first thing about NHRA and championships, but I do know Tony's won 2 events now, so maybe an NHRA championship is a possibility. I don't know. Some of you guys that know that better than me can probably tell me if I'm crazy or not. Titanium Busher Green. And we got a Matt Mills Zenith autograph. There's the 4th auto. Tony's leading the top fuel points right now. Oh, nice. See? I'm not crazy. Here, let's switch out Matt Mills, and we'll put Matt Mills on the stand. Get it? Haley Luminance, Dinger. Jeb Burton. Green Zenith, Michael McDowell. And Thunder, Martin Truex Jr. What wrestlers? One was a ring announcer, female ring announcer that I wasn't really familiar with. And the others were, I think, Anderson and Gallows, the tag team guys. I don't think they're even with WWE anymore. Tony B. Overdrive and Green Recon Bubba. And then I got one other one. Somebody else. I don't remember who. Yeah, if he wins an NHRA championship, that's really going to be something. And it sounds like it's a legitimate possibility with the way he started the year off now. I mean, I don't know how long the NHRA season runs, but I'm assuming it's similar to all the rest of motorsports. You know, they probably follow a fairly similar season. So, you know, he's got probably a long way to go, but that would be something. As a Stewart collector, that would be cool. Let's see, Wuji. No, it was not Alicia. No. It's somebody from I don't know when. It's not a known ring announcer. Eric Jones, race used tire, going to Anthony Hawley. But yeah, I agree on the trying to give it to NASCAR. I think he is thrilled to be gone, honestly. Tony was another one I did hear that we probably will not ever get any more autographs in NASCAR products. Green Thunder, William Byron. So for us Stewart collectors, you got to collect from previous years. Jeremy Clements, Magnitude Suarez, XR Natalie Decker. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Nope, it's not Samantha Todd. Austin Wayne Self, William Byron. Like I said, not a well-known ring announcer. All of those are pretty well known, at least to me they are. Thunder, William Byron. Yes, Tony loves racing, period, and will always, I think, love the sport. I think it's the people running it and the way they're running it that he can't stand, in my opinion. Like I said the other day, when we were talking about all the different problems, BK Green Lightning, and I finally said, you know what the problem is? The problem's NASCAR. And I still stand behind that statement. Yeah, but Tony's issues with the World of Outlaws aren't so deep that, you know, the World of Outlaws still come to Eldora 3 or 4 times a year. So his issues with them don't stem too deep. It's more so that they don't allow non-Woo drivers to sell autographs. 18 or not autograph, merchandise on their row. 18 of 49, Ryan Preece. Obsidian autograph. There we go. And he went unclaimed. Going to Joey Kroger with the pink etch. Ryan Preece. That's our 5th autograph. And gets us to that 25% number that we were talking about, that Scott was mentioning. Yeah, so essentially when you go to race, if you're a sprint car driver like Tony Stewart, and you go to a racetrack, like say Tony goes to another track for a World of Outlaw race, like when Tony goes to Knoxville to run the Knoxville Nationals with the World of Outlaws, the World of Outlaws will not allow him to set up his merchandise trailer out there with the rest of the World of Outlaws trailers. Now, I think they have a separate area, but it can't be out there in the main row with the World of Outlaws. And then a lot of the other tracks that have less space, they won't even allow other guys to bring their trailers. It's just, well, you got to sell from the pits. And that's what Tony took issue with, is he's like, and it's not, I don't think it's Tony doing it because Tony wants his money. I think it's just Tony trying to stand up for what's right. Because Tony typically doesn't travel with a merch trailer anyway. So I never took it as him saying, oh, I need my money or this or that. It was always as much about him just saying, hey, this is wrong, you know? So now at Eldora, for the King's Royal and some of the other outlaw races at Eldora, a little different situation because it's Tony's place. They have to kind of play by his game a little bit, and so you'll see some other people up there on his merchandise row that aren't outlaw full-timers. Yeah, that's how, I mean, if you think about it, that's how a lot of the racers that race dirt with, like, Lucas Oil Late Models, World of Outlaws, all those types of series, that's how the drivers make their money. I mean, that's genuinely how they're making their Recon Green Danica and then Thunder Ryan Priest. Because even if you're not winning, even if you are winning a fair amount of races, you're kind of breaking even by the time you pay for race cars and fuel and lodging and maintenance and everything that comes with all of it, you know. Another immaculate 22/25, Daniel Hemrick. Hemrick was another non-claimed driver going to Joey. But just think, if you're a sprint car or a late model driver and you're doing, you know, I don't know, on a any given race night, I would imagine that most of the better drivers are probably generating, you know, some of the better drivers, but maybe not the top tier drivers. So the Tyler Erbs of the world, or the like Logan Shugarts of the world, that kind of are a little bit more mid pack, but win here and there. I bet you those guys are still doing, at most racetracks, they're probably doing $5,000 to $10,000 in merchandise sales on a night. And even after you pay somebody to run your merchandise trailer for you, if you've you know, if you've sold, I don't know, $8,000 worth of merchandise, their profit margins on their merch is going to be about 50 to 60%, if not a little bit better than that. You know, on a $10 to $12 t-shirt, they're selling them for 30 to 35 bucks. So they're probably doing better than what I'm even thinking. But, you know, they're making potentially a couple $1,000s a night just on merchandise sales, if they're a decent driver and doing it right. Almirola Recon goes to Will Black again. Thunder Stenhouse. I mean, I know when I worked at the racetrack, on kind of a typical night, we could do anywhere between $1,000 and $1,500 worth of sales and merchandise, just track merchandise. And then on big nights, or nights where maybe it got chilly and people didn't expect it and you went through a bunch of sweatshirts, better nights, you would go through, you know, you could do $3,000 in the track merchandise. So it doesn't take long to add up, you know, when t-shirts are $30, $35 and Sweatshirts are $50 or $60. And hats are, what, $25, $30? That stuff adds up real fast. Titanium Bubba. That corner on that Bubba's a little rough. Jimmy Johnson. Truex. Awuji. Raja Caruth. There's another immaculate. 13 out of 50. Chris Buescher. Going to Michael Clay. Three IMAX now. See? Oh, for sure, Scott. Green Overdrive, Justin Bonsignor. I will usually... So this is how I operate at the racetrack. I try to, if I go to a race, like a big race, like say I go to like the Kings Royal, I try to pick out one shirt, like one t-shirt that I really like that year, that I'm like, oh, I love that design, or whatever, or it's somebody that I'm, really following, or maybe it's somebody that I've never had a shirt of before, and I just want to support them. So I'll go buy one of their new shirts, for whatever it is that they're charging, $30, $35. And that's the only regular price shirt I'll buy. Then, if I'm there, like especially if my wife's there, we'll walk around and I'll just check out the clearance racks. And I'll buy stuff off of those, and you can grab like $10 t-shirts from the previous year. Cole Custer Recon Race Used Tire goes to Will Black. If you're somebody that likes racing stuff, merch, if you're somebody that likes to go to the racetrack and shop and buy stuff, the dirt track, especially Eldora for the big, like Scott, I know you've been talking about the World 100. You wouldn't know what to do with yourself with all that. I mean, there's just the die casts. The only thing I can think of that's not there typically is cards. But just so much stuff. And there's lots of deals to be had for sure, like, But if you like racing merch, like a lot of us do, dirt track's a great place to snag some stuff. Or your local track. Doesn't even have to be a dirt track. Local track. Chris Buescher. Ross Hey, you know what, Scott? The other one that you should check out, I think you've been to it. Pedal to the Metal Green. Have you been to the Dome race? The Gateway Dirt Nationals? I can't remember if you've said you've been to that or not. But if you haven't, you should go to that, because that's closer to your neck of the woods. The reason I mention that is several people around here have told me that they go every year, and they love to go buy a bunch of t-shirts and sweatshirts there because that's the last race of the season. And so a lot of teams have a lot of stuff on clearance there. Stuff is vintage. Yeah, you should go to that. I mean, it would be closer. But yeah, Eldora, absolutely. I'm hoping to go up for Kings Royal week, but we're going to be leaving for vacation the day of the actual Kings Royal. Some terrible planning on my part. But I'm hoping to go up and watch the high limit race that week. Last pack mojo, 11 of 25. Short print, purple Ryan Preece. What do you know? All the people that left early and said, There's nothing left. I'm not going to hit anything. You might have missed out. Obviously, you didn't, because Ryan Preece was an unclaimed driver. Goes to Joey Kroger, but just goes to show it ain't over till it's over. And a green mosaic, Tony B in the back. So, that is that, as they say. Let me get rid of the gloves, and I'll get you guys a quick recap. And like I said, I'll get a schedule posted here in just a few minutes for the rest of this week. But we'll go with 9 o'clock tomorrow night for a pull box night. And then Thursday night we'll do a mixer. Probably 7:30 is when I'll post it Thursday night. 7:30 or 8. And we'll do a mixer Thursday night. So let me hit you guys with a recap though of everything. Yeah, pretty much what I expected. I mean, it worked out okay. I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was great. Just average. Blue Recon Tyler Reddick to 199. We had red Stenhouse to 99. And then we had the purple Preece out of 25. Then relics, we had Cole Custer, Eric Almirola, Eric Jones, B.J. McLeod, Harrison Burton, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Greg Alding, Ryan Vargas, Greg Alding, Brad Keselowski, Greg Alding, A.J. Allmendinger, Eric Almirola, Justin Allgaier, and Zane Smith. Immaculates, we had Chris Buescher, Daniel Hemrick short print to 25, and Nick Sanchez out of 99. And then for the autographs, we had Parker Chase score, Matt Mills Obsidian, B.J. McLeod Contenders ticket, Zenith Matt Mills, and the Obsidian Ryan Preece numbered to 49. So that is all she wrote for Chronicles tonight. And again, I appreciate everybody that participated. I think it's it was a cheap break for sure. So marginal risk to get, one of your favorite drivers in a bunch of blasters versus, the way I looked at it was the most expensive spot in the break was $20. To buy a blaster, you're going to spend 20 to 25. So do you want your driver in 20 blasters, or do you want to buy one blaster and hope that you get one of your drivers? So at any rate, that's all we got. Appreciate everybody's support. Yeah, and I'll get the schedule posted for the rest of this week, and we'll see y'all next time.